Hobbes experiment. First understand very carefully the anomalous expansion of water. Then you will be able to do Hobbes experiment. It is very important. In 1805, scientist T.C. Hobbes devised a simple arrangement known as Hobbes apparatus. You can see the Hobbes apparatus. In Hobbes apparatus, there is a tall metallic cylinder and there is a cylindrical trough in which the freezing mixture is kept, and water is taken in the metallic cylinder at room temperature, and there are two openings, that is P and Q. One is at the top and one is near the bottom, and through opening P the thermometer T1 is fitted, and through opening Q the thermometer T2 is fitted, and we observe the readings of the thermometers at regular intervals. And what are the observations? This freezing mixture is a mixture of salt and ice. And what are the observations of Hobbes experiment? Initially, the temperature of the first thermometer and the second thermometer is same. That is T1 is equal to T2 equals to room temperature. Say it is 12 degree Celsius. And what is the next observation? The next observation is that the temperature of the thermometer T2 is 4 degrees Celsius. That is, it starts decreasing. When we again observe the thermometers, we find that the thermometer T2 is falling, increasing in temperature. That is, its temperature is 4 degrees Celsius. Up to 4 degrees Celsius, its temperature decreases. First, it was 12 degrees Celsius, then its temperature decreases and it reaches up to 4 degrees Celsius and then remains unchanged. And the temperature of thermometer T1 remains unchanged. You can say that is 12 degree Celsius. Now, after some time we again observe these thermometers. We find that there is no further decrease in the temperature of thermometer T2. That is, it is constant 4 degrees Celsius. That is, it is at 4 degrees Celsius. That its temperature is not decreasing. It is constant at 4 degrees Celsius, and the temperature of thermometer T1 again starts falling. It decreases. And how much it decreases? It decreases up to 0 degrees Celsius. So these were the observations after the experiment that was done by Hobbes. We can also understand these observations using graphs. We can draw the graphs between temperature and the time. You can take time along with x-axis and temperature along with y-axis. So if we say here is 12 degrees Celsius and here is 4 degrees Celsius and the time is taken here and time is taken here, then as for we have discussed in the first observation, the temperature of the T1, we can draw graphs for T1 as well as for thermometer T2. Here is again temperature 12 degrees Celsius, say 4 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius and time here. So we can draw the graphs for the thermometers T1 and thermometer T2. Our first observation was that for the thermometer T1 it was steady, that is its temperature was steady, and then after some time its temperature fall. Up to what amount its temperature fall? It fall up to 4 degree Celsius and then to 0 degree Celsius. So we can write, with increase in time the temperature of for the thermometer T1 decreases up to 0 degrees Celsius. Again for the thermometer T2 we can see that first it was same as that of the first thermometer, then it started decreasing in temperature, that is the temperature of thermometer 2 decreased up to 4 degrees Celsius and then it become steady. So these are the graphs for the Hobbs experiment. First the thermometer T1 is showing 12 degrees Celsius temperature, that is room temperature. Then it is falling in temperature with time. As the time is increasing, it falls to 0 degrees Celsius. And for the thermometer T2, first it was at 12 degrees Celsius and then it started decreasing. How much it decreased? It decreased up to 4 degrees Celsius and further it remained constant at 4 degrees Celsius. Now let us see how this happens. This happens as the freezing mixture cools the water present near the central part of the metallic cylinder. As the water cools, then it contracts. Water contracts and then the density of the water increases. If the water is contracting, then its density would increase because volume is decreasing. And as the density is increased here, so the water with more density goes down to the cylinder, means it sinks to the bottom, and the bottom water which is warm, it takes the place of the water, and as these convection currents are set up, then the bottom of the cylinder is having 4 degrees Celsius water, and again due to further cooling the water freezes here, and this happens due to anomalous expansion of water, because further cooling, that is cooling from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius, the water is expanding. So here water is expanding, so means its density is decreasing. So if there is fall in density of the water, that means it will go up. So here the reading is of the thermometer is 0 degrees Celsius, but water with the maximum density, that is 4 degrees Celsius, is here, that is in the bottom of the cylinder. Next we shall discuss about consequences of anomalous expansion of water. What are the consequences of anomalous expansion? expansion of water. During winter, the temperature may fall below 4 degrees Celsius and then anomalous expansion of water takes place, and anomalous expansion of water helps in preserving aquatic life. How? Because in the lakes, even if the water at the top layer freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, then the water present here with maximum density of 4 degrees Celsius is here, that is to the bottom of the lake, and the aquatic animals can survive. In this water. This is how nature protects the aquatic life, even if the lake is freezed here, but here is the water present. Why this happens? Because due to anomalous expansion of water, the water expands when it is heated from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. It contracts. Water contracts when heated from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. So here the density of water is more. So the water will sink here with more density. Density is more here, so water will sink here. And here with more rise in temperature, there is the formation of ice here, and ice acts as insulator. So this layer of ice does not allow the warmth of this water to go to the atmosphere, and hence aquatic life is preserved. And the another consequence of anomalous expansion of water is it bursts the pipes. It is responsible for the burst of water pipes in winters and destruction of crops during cold nights. That is burst of water pipes and die of plants. How? As the water expands from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, as the temperature falls. Suppose the temperature firstly was at 12 degrees Celsius, then it falls up to 4 degrees Celsius, and again it decreases from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. If there is a decrease in temperature, there is contraction of water occurring. That is, in the pipe, the water is contracting, so it would not affect the pipe. But when temperature falls further in winters, that is from 4 degrees Celsius, it falls to 0 degrees Celsius, then there is expansion of water. So, if there is expansion of water, the pipe may burst in winters. And for the same reason, that is anomalous expansion of water, the plants die in the winter season, because the capillary of the plant, they have the capillary, and it also bursts when the temperature is further decreased below 4 degrees Celsius. Next, section 6b and 6c is not in your syllabus, and only the definitions of greenhouse effect and global warming from section 6d is in your syllabus. So we shall discuss the definitions of greenhouse effect and global warming. greenhouse effect and global warming. Only definitions are in your syllabus. So what is greenhouse effect? It is the process of warming of Earth's surface and its lower atmosphere by absorption of infrared radiations of long wavelength emitted from the surface of the Earth by greenhouse gases. What are greenhouse gases? The greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and ozone, as well as CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon, etc. So these greenhouse gases absorb the infrared radiations. What are infrared radiations? Infrared radiations emit heat, means a body, if that body is emitting heat, that is it is emitting infrared radiations. So these gases absorbs the infrared radiations of long wavelength emitted from the atmosphere, and these do not let the heat from our atmosphere to go out. So that is why the greenhouse effect is seen. That is, and the greenhouse effect leads to global warming. It is the effect and it is the cause. It causes global warming. So now see what is global warming. Global warming means the increase in average effective temperature near the Earth's surface due to an increase in the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So global warming is actually the annual increase in the Earth's temperature or the temperature of the globe, and the cause for this global warming is greenhouse effect. Now students, your chapter is over. Open your notebooks to note down the homework. Your homework is write down the difference between heat and temperature as well as and definitions of greenhouse effect and global warming in your notebook. Thank you.